Good morning, or depending on when you're watching this, good afternoon, good evening, or good night. My name's Ross, and as always told, I had a voice radio. So today, we're going to be having a little bit of a look at a new Greninja card. That's right, ladies and gentlemen. We looked at the Sharpedo from Night Unison the other day. We have had a look at both Sylveon and Gardevoir Tag Team GX, and Greninja and Zoroark Tag Team GX. It seems like we might be getting beyond the occasional little card here or there, and it seems like we might be getting a legitimate leak of this set, which is kind of cool. Still early days, but we've got a new Greninja to talk about, and that's pretty cool. Of course, one thing that is very interesting in that regard is that we know we're getting Greninja and Zoroark Tag Team GX in this set. It's a little bit weird that we are getting this as well. Although I should mention that new Gyarados I told you about the other day, which is being played in Japan, is coming out in the same set as Magikarp and Wailord Tag Team GX. So I suppose Magikarp got a regular and a tag team in the same set. But what does this Greninja actually do? Well, it's not that often we actually get a Darkness-type Greninja. Now, on the one hand, it does mean that we are weak to fighting, which is kind of rubbish, with all of the Boswell running around at the moment. That is less than ideal. But you got 130 HP, which is alright. I mean, don't get me wrong, it's still a little bit weak, but in something like a Zoroark, you'll be able to survive a hit. Not amazing, but you can live with this. Resistance to Psychic is amazing, because Garbodor, and the free retreat is absolutely awesome. I mean, just don't sleep on free retreat, to be honest with you. Just don't sleep on free retreat. It's ridiculously good. And as mentioned, we've not had many Darkness-type Greninjas. The only one we've ever actually had was the promo one, which got immunity for a turn when you evolved. And this is the first one we're actually going to be getting in a main set. Darkness type means Black Market Prism Star is on board, which means that if you've got a Darkness Energy and it's KO'd, it doesn't give up a prize. And it means that you get stuff like Devoured Field in order to do an extra 10 damage, if that's what you're into. But it's the first attack here that I am really into. What it says is, the Pokemon on the field with the lowest HP is KO'd. Yours or your opponent's. For a single double colorless energy, you KO the Pokemon in play with the lowest amount of remaining HP. And this obviously could be really bad and backfire, but this could also be like crazy over the top good. And for some of you that have been around a little while, this will sound familiar. This is literally the attacks of Gardevoir Level X. Gardevoir Level X had this exact same attack, and I mean the exact same attack. However, that was a Stage 2 Level X, so you get the Stage 2 out, then you get it in the active and Level Exit. That was a bit awkward. This is just a regular Stage 2. And that was for 2 Psychic Energy, whereas this is just for a double colorless, which is a significantly better attack cost. The question is, when is this going to be really good? Well, let's go straight in with the probably not going to happen, but definitely best use for it. Let's say you're playing against a Magikarp and Wailord Tag Team GX. Now, some people, and we saw this in a video the other day, I'll pop a link in the description, are playing this with Naganadel and Quagsire to get an attacking kind of deck going. So even if you've just got Greninja out, because remember, Greninja does not get KO'd from this, it is a Pokemon other than Greninja which gets KO'd. Greninja cannot be KO'd by this attack. So you've got 120 HP Quagsire, 130 HP Naganadel, and then 300 HP Magikarp and Wailord, so you would KO Quagsire. Which is still annoying because they need Quagsire to move their energy, but it's not the end of the world. But let's say they're playing a Magikarp and Wailord Tag Team GX stall deck, relying on stuff like Max Elixir, like Ace Roller to heal, and basically saying, you can't one-hit KO me, I am not going to put any other Pokemon down, I am just going to roll with Magikarp and Wailord, you can't KO me, and I'm going to win, because you can't KO me. In that regard, as long as you don't have anything on the field which isn't a Greninja, and bearing in mind they're not attacking, so you're going to have a couple of turns to get a couple of Greninja out, you just take 6 prizes in 2 turns and win the game. That's ridiculous. Now, if you have a Frogadier down, and more on Frogadier in a moment, then Frogadier will get KO because it's got the lowest remaining HP. But so long as you've just got Magikarp and Wailord on your opponent's side and Greninja on yours, you just take 3 prizes. And to be honest, if you can ever engineer a situation where you've got nothing but Greninja out and your opponent's got nothing but Tag Team GXs out, or I suppose you could have Tag Team GXs as long as your opponents are bigger than yours, then oh my goodness, this is amazing. Because you're just getting 3 prizes in one hit by taking out Tag Team GXs. I'm not saying this is going to happen all the time. I am saying it will happen sometimes, and I am saying when it does, it will be hilarious. Now, just to confirm a quick little note here, it does say choose one Pokemon with the fewest remaining HP, so obviously if there are multiple Pokemon with the fewest HP, you get the choice of which one actually gets KO'd by this. And there is a really good combo here with Frogadier and Greninja GX. You see, Frogadier puts 2 damage counters on when you evolve into it, one of your opponent's Pokemon. And Greninja, bearing in mind it's the same evolution line, puts down 3 damage counters. So first of all, if you're playing Greninja, you can just put one of these bad boys in. Do remember, Greninja GX and Greninja have different names, so you can have up to 4 Greninja and up to 4 Greninja GX, though only 4 Frogadier. And then what you can do is essentially use Greninja GX and Frogadier to drop damage counters to bring the Pokemon you want to KO down to the lowest HP on the field, and then KO it that way. You could build a deck around this, you could put it into a Darkness deck, or you could tech it into a Greninja deck that's just playing the other one. It's double colorless energy, or any 2 energy, which makes it extremely techable. And the thing to remember here is that yes, in some situations it won't be amazing, but in some situations it will be over the top, stupidly good amazing. You can KO your opponent's GX for 2 prizes, Tag Team GX for 3 prizes, only good Pokemon remaining on the field. It's redonk. As for the second attack, and I should mention our translation here comes from the lovely David Hochmann. I do believe I forgot to mention that earlier. David, if you are watching the video, I apologise. You are a lovely man. Please don't hate me. Except it's funny because David is a lovely man and he won't hate me for forgetting to say it until later on in the video because he's not a horrible person. 2 Darkness Energy, 70 damage, and damage from this attack is not affected by weakness, resistance, or any other effects on the defending Pokemon. So you get to go through resistance, which is good because fairy Pokemon, I'm looking at you, Granbull, they have resistance to darkness, so that's really relevant. And it goes through other effects, but it doesn't go through weakness. And at this stage, the thing that makes me super sad is Dawnwing's Necrozma. Because you see, Dawnwing's Necrozma has 180 HP. So if you use a Choice Band here, or get 4 damage counters on any other way, you get a 1-hit KO with this. And Dawnwing's Necrozma's GX attack says that it basically gets immunity the following turn, except you get to ignore that using this attack. Oh no, wait, you don't get a KO because you don't hit for weakness. If you did hit for weakness, this would be a phenomenal counter against Dawnwing's Necrozma. As it is, it's still fun, you still get damage on the board, but it's not amazing. You do want to be able to hit for weakness here. And that's essentially where we come down with this attack. We've seen these kind of attacks a million times in the past. I mean, look, it's Shred. We've seen Shred on so many Pokemon in the past. Shred is one of these attacks that just keeps coming around again and again and again, often in Dragon Pokemon. And it's basically that. Get some damage on the board, and if a Pokemon is trying to block you, you get round them. So it's in expanded only now, but Glaceon EX was always a really annoying one for this, because it couldn't be attacked by evolution. So if you didn't have any good basic Pokemon, you were down. I mean, look, we all played Tapu Lele, which was the reason Glaceon completely fell out of favour, but just roll with me for a second. So they use Crystal Ray. You can't attack them with evolved Pokemon like Stage 2s, but oh wait, yes you can, because in comes Greninja. I don't mind this. It's okay. I'm fine with it. But I don't think it's a phenomenal second attack. I do believe the first attack is a phenomenal first attack. I think it's kind of over the top crazy good. However, it is not reliable. It is one of those where you have to plan it out, and I don't think you can make a deck around it, because if you do, you'll end up in situations where Frogadier is the lowest HP Pokemon, so you've got to just chill. But given that you've got Frogadier and Greninja GX who are good, given that it's for colourless energy, and given that you can manipulate it to take out all your opponent's Pokemon, though you may have to wait to finish evolving, and it can be teched into a bunch of different decks, I like it a lot, and I'm giving it between 3 and 4 Wassies. We don't give half Wassies, that would be barbaric. I do like this a lot, and I do think it's going to be teched in and see some play in some decks. And if you're playing a Greninja deck, this is an absolute no-brainer. And come on, if you're playing against a stall deck that isn't attacking, so they're giving you a little bit of time to set up, and you just get a couple of Greninja out, you can just run through them in a couple turns. But I want to know what you think about this, ladies and gentlemen, so please do let me know in the comment section. Go nuts! But I would ask you to please remember the most important rule of all. Be nice, would ya? And then make sure you like this video, subscribe to this channel, follow me on Twitter at The Wassy, and Twitch for some live action at twitch.tv/PTCGRadio. If you want to support the channel, get some bonus podcasts and all of that, head on over to patreon.com/PTCGRadio, where you can do exactly that. And do make sure you're checking out youtube.com/WassyPlays for some more Wassy action. But by far the most important thing, as always, is to look after yourselves until next time. Thank you very much for watching. My name's Ross, and you've been watching PTCG Radio.